Hi, boys and girls. I just wanted to go over the cause 3 slides from yesterday just to make sure that everybody can check their work and understand what they should have and why what you had is either correct or incorrect, so that you are all ready for the check-in today to answer the questions. If you need to, you may go back to the first 3 causes just to double check to make sure that you have everything that you understand. So you can go back and check if you are not sure on a question. So the first one that you were supposed to answer today is, what is a boycott? It's a pledge to not buy a certain product. So, or you can say to refuse to buy. Anytime that you're refusing to purchase something, that's a boycott, or do something is a boycott. The picture that I told you guys to find is this. This is the Paul Revere Boston Massacre picture. It's the famous one. You should have copy and pasted it into this spot right here. There's only a few post-its you had to do today. What was the goal of the Committee of Correspondence? They were sending information about what was happening in the colonies. So they were gathering together and then sending out different things that was happening in the colony. So it says Sam Adams became the leader of the famous became one of the famous protest leaders in Boston. He started the group called Committee of Correspondence. More committees were started in the colonies. These committees sent information to each other about the Boston Massacre. The bitter feelings towards King George grew stronger. So basically, it's a committee of people. Correspondence means that they're talking to each other. They're sending each other letters and letting them know what's happening between all of the different colonies. Remember, the colonies stretched all the way from the entire East Coast. So from Maine all the way down to Florida. So that's a lot of land. And there's no email, there's no TV, there's no quick way to get information. So that's why they formed this committee, so they could send letters to let each other know what was happening where they lived. The last one, how did the colonists try to solve their problems with Britain? They wrote a letter stating they were loyal but wanted freedom. So it tells you up here that the members of Continental Congress wrote a letter to King George. It said that the colonies were loyal to the king, but the laws for the colonies must be made by their own elected representatives. The letter included a list of problems that the colonists would like corrected. The leaders decided that the colonists would boycott British goods until the problems were solved. Then each colony started its own militia, which is also known as a small volunteer army, so the colonies could be prepared if they had to fight the British. As we know, of course, they did have to do just that. Okay, so they wrote this letter just letting the king know, listen, and Parliament know. These are our problems. Like, we're upset. These are the things we're upset about. This is why we're upset. Please do something to fix it. We don't want to do this. We want to be British. We want to be part of Britain. But if you don't fix it, we're going to do something about it. So, and that is exactly what they did. And the last slide that you guys were, oops, I went back the wrong way. The last 2 slides were telling you all about Lexington and Concord, which of course is the shot heard around the world. That's where the fighting first starts. The fighting at Lexington and Concord became known as the shot heard around the world. It's people around the world learned about these famous battles for freedom and representative government. It gave people in other lands hope that someday they could also fight for a better government too. So, and then here's the wrap up. So for today, you are responsible for, if I can get this out, where is it? A form. So the form looks like this. It says up at the top, Road to Revolution check-in. It says, answer the following questions based on your knowledge of the causes of the Revolutionary War. You may go back to reread if you need. So if you need to, you may go back and reread what you have read about the causes of the revolution so far. Please make sure you put your name on here. Then it's going to give you 10 multiple choice questions. Please make sure you're reading all of the choices before you make your choice. Okay. And you can go back and look in the readings if you need to. You should actually. Any questions, please message me. I'm also going to be holding a Zoom tomorrow for Mean Idea and Details, but I will answer any questions. If you have a social studies question, I will answer a question there also.